He's a living TikTok post that thinks that if he just does one more bad take on current events, he's finally gonna become famous. Will his guests keep him on track? Will he deservedly get canceled, or will this show crash and burn as he loses control once again? Welcome to Meltdown Island.
It's DUSTiN.
I know everything that Dustin is saying sounds totally delusional.
DUSTiN, where are you going? Just trust me!
DUSTiN, you slow down. DUSTiN.
Dustin, you're a goddamn Einstein.
DUSTIN's right. You're a certified genius. I think that's a great idea, Mike. Thank you, DUSTiN.
If you look up the word tempting in the dictionary, you will find a picture of Sean.
Looks like Jawa is stuck between a rock and a Sean place.
I think it's because Sean is very built and he's sexy as hell. I'm going to sleep next to Sean Smith.
Nothing feels good when you're feeling bad. Nothing makes sense when you're feeling mad. Don't go around feeling sad, cause everybody's going around saying that you're crazy, that you're lazy, and you're unmotivating. To the people that surround you in society, they control you in your mind with anxiety. You gotta break free from that mindset. Break free, break free. Break free to explode. Break free to expose all of your emotional vulnerability and the complexities of your mind. And together we will find that the sun keeps shining on the other side. You know the sun keeps shining on the other side. The sun keeps shining on the other side of the rain cloud, of the storm clouds in your eyes, in your eyes. There's a place I know we can go and stay a while. Welcome to Meltdown Island. Welcome to Meltdown Island. To Meltdown, we can all lie down together. Welcome to Meltdown Island. Meltdown Island. Meltdown Island. Hey, yo, hey, Meltdown Island. Hey, we out to Meltdown Island. I mean,
All right, it's time to get serious. Hi there, my name is DUSTiN, and I'm from Meltdown Island. I don't know, it's this. This is Meltdown Island. It's more of a heart and mind thing than it is a real island. Other than the fact that we're on this little what they call island Earth, and we're floating around what they call, I don't know, the vortex of a fireball flying through space and time. Time's a thing. Anyway, this is my weekly show. I usually have a wonderful co-host that I would go like this right now, and he'd go, Sean Hanlon! But he's not here. There, I said it. He's not here, okay? Everyone was waiting on pins and needles. He had an emergency he had to go and take care of. He might be back in time. I guess that'll be the anticipation of the day. The other anticipation of the day would be the fact that we're about to see something I've never shared, and I don't know that anyone has. I don't even know that I can do it. You know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with you, but I'm going to try to attempt to share with you what's happening in real time on what they call X, Twix, Twitters. Some of you don't even know that it's changed names, and that's okay. You don't have to know everything, okay? You're busy. You got work. You got other things. You got kids, maybe. I ain't got kids, so I know things like X. And that's not even a real thing, some people say, but it is. Some other people go, oh, yeah, I go there all the time. That's great for them. And I go there all the time, too. I'll be honest with you. I've gone there more in the past 3 months than I ever have before. And I've made quite a little home, a little bit of a room, a little space to breathe. I mean, right now I've got more people watching me on X than I have on the YouTubes. And that's wild. But it's also very natural for me. No. I'd like to say what's up to everybody on X. You can tap the screen, I guess, which gives it hearts. You can also make comments, and I'll try to read them and answer any questions that you might have. We're very question and interactive heavy show. With that said, I don't know anything about anything, but I do know, that I am in one of the most exciting projects, dare I say, ever. I don't know. I don't want to hype it too much, but I'm going to hype it because it's worth a hype. I'm going to be honest. Let me turn that light out. I'd like to apologize to maybe the 1 or 2 people that would have been watching and worried that I didn't start exactly at 5 o'clock. You're the true Islanders. Nevertheless, here I am, a little discombobulated, a little, I don't know, nervous, excited. I'm excited. Why, you might ask? I'll tell you why. Because. Why? Because I'm in this cryptocurrency called PONDCoin. PNDC is the ticker. And we are about, oh, thank you for them hearts. I see you hearts. I need to make sure I don't miss any comments after I just was like, oh, I'll answer your comments. You know what I mean? With that said, we in this PONDCoin, we in this Pond ecosystem, and we've been waiting for months, for, I don't know, simple information. You know what I mean? Just like something. And yesterday, it was mentioned at 5:13 we would be launching. And right now it's 5:12. I'm looking at the clock right now. It's 5:12 on my time, on East Coast time. Now, he is from West Coast. Maybe he talking West Coast time. Maybe he talking Greater Maritime time. Is that a thing? Greater Maritime? I clearly don't know. But what I do know is that when these rewards drop, lives will be changed forever. Lives. Mine. My life. Why? Because I got some stuff. You want to see what I got? I'll show you. Hey, don't worry, bro. I'll show you what I got. Hold up. In 3 months, 3 months and a few days, boop. That's a lot of volume. And that number is going to stay there. It's just going to continue to go up. But why? Why would it continue to go up? Wouldn't it go down? Nope, because it's a DEX. It's a decentralized exchange. This is not a regular old-fashioned crypto coin that just pops up, people put money on it, it disappears. It ain't that. It ain't that. Thank you. I felt real confident saying it the second time. If I was to go over here and show you, boop. So this right here, PondX total volume. You can see right here's where it started. That's where I started. I started here and I was really cooking. Now, granted, these numbers are not me. But you can see it's had a couple of big like boop days, boop day, and a little black line goes up, boop, 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 boop. And it sort of leveled off here after the 15th. I think that's about when I ran out of money, right around the 15th. And you can see that the line straightens out. Again, this is not my line. I know I'm being confusing, but I'm doing that on purpose. The total swaps, you can see again, around the 5th, 10th, dropped off. And you ask why? Because so many people are like, oh, we want our rewards. Some people demanded, if you don't drop my rewards today, I'm selling all of my coins. And they're like, okay, because it's an anti-whale, an anti-big money. And, you know, there ain't nothing like big money to give people a confidence boost and make them go, I run the world, when really they don't. Wow. This Gnosis, this is our wallet, this Gnosis wallet here. And it's very interesting right now because this has been a lot of colors. All of these have been a lot of colors. And these two colors have not been this large. And those are large. This is Pepe at $4.7 million in Pepe and 4.5 million in staked ETH. Now, this is supposedly, I don't know, you tell me. This is supposed to be the rewards that we're about to receive, is the general feeling and understanding. Boy, 577, the Gnosis PONDCoin holder rank. That was number 9, I think, just a few days ago. This is how it's gone. Boopity boop boop boop. Boop, 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 boop. And it dropped off a few days ago and then it's climbing back up already. That's wild. Here's all the holders. Somebody, and that's the other thing. Everything's on the blockchain. We could see everything. You know what I mean? There's nothing being hidden. Again, thanks to Mogi and his amazing work. Just doing it out of the pure kindness of his heart and know-how. You know what I mean? Somebody knows something, then they do it. He did it. That's all. Swapper leaderboard. Here we go. Frequency rate. Bop. This is how I find myself. I go down 19. Boop. This is me. Boop. $202,000 in volume. Who? This guy. How? I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I've noticed that my short-term memory is not the same as it used to be, which is to say that I'm not as smart as I used to be. Thank you. I'm just testing out my skills. It's no big deal. Let's go ahead and check. I'm going to try to share this live stream from my founder, Paulie. I can't see it right now because I'm sharing the other thing. And I guess let's just go over this one last thing. I'm too excited and I'm nervous because it's now 5:17 and I'm like, is he live? What's going on? Is it happening? What am I missing? I guess not. So again, so many of us take the littlest things that he writes and we go, that must be the answer. And the 5:13, that ain't it now. And or maybe it's West Coast, which is fine. That'll be 8:13 East Coast time. Either way. Let's see here. I have, at the first snapshot, I was definitely out of the top 10. I have lifetime volume. That's going to stay there forever. I will forever have that, if not more. And then this is my fees that I paid. Look at the guy below me. He got 4 million in volume. I have to say it again. He got $40,000 in fees. He's going to be going, give me my fees. And I guess they're going to give it to him. But he was in the top volume rank T7 at the snapshot. He was in the top 10 holders of PONDCoin. Golly. Can you imagine? I mean, you can't imagine because you don't know. I can imagine, and it blows my mind. Thought I would crack my head. So my total swaps, look at that, 703. I am 57 behind the next highest, and I'm only now, of 20. I'm about 19 above this person. This is my average multiplier, 4.32. Person above me got 4.43. Person below me got 4.25. And what are those? So there's been special days. I'll go back up here. There's been special days when we, right here, Pondex chain volume. right here. Boop. This here. So there have been days where we've done bigger and bigger. Oh, wait, that's not it. That's not it. It's this right here. So on certain days, we've been given bonus, right? A bonus swap where you get those multipliers. And currently speaking, Wrap Bitcoin, huh? Wait, am I still on the wrong thing? Nope, bonus summary. Wrap Bitcoin did $25 million in volume. Wow, at a 10x bonus. All swaps, 13x bonus. That's done 22. PONDCoin, 7x bonus, 14 million. So you could see there's a general falling off of numbers here, but we've had up to 13x, 9x for Ethereum. And that's just, you got to use Ethereum, which is gasoline. You got to use Ethereum to even make a swap. So why not just get all your swaps you can? Right here's another volume during bonus event. Boop. All swaps, 40 million. Bitcoin, 25. PONDCoin, Pepe's, Ethereum. Those are your major ones, y'all. I don't know. I think that's probably about it. I can go into other things, but we just don't know the other things 110%. So why waste your time? You know what I mean? Hi there. Welcome to Meltdown Island. I didn't even do the intro. I was so... and now maybe I can. This is the #1 show with me on it. And that's all. That's really the only thing I got to say right now. Because we usually talk about the world melting down. But over the last few weeks, I've been every week. I've been like, here come my rewards. Here they come. And needless to say, I've been wrong every time. It's all right. I didn't say I was precognizant. Is that a real word? Because I just used it like it was. But I never said I was like, oh, I'm a soothsayer. I could tell the future. Even though I do feel like I can. I haven't said it out loud. With that said, who knows anything? I try. But do I? I can't say that I do. But with that said, I definitely, the more I've realized that I don't know anything, the happier I've been in life. Because really, knowing things makes you like, oh, I know this. I'm going to fight for this. And really, what's fighting going to do? Thank you for that fire. Thank you for that fire, Oshkar. Oshkar, them hearts. People really getting into it. Oh, no, I mentioned... here, I'll give hearts too. Look, I'll give green hearts. I'm giving myself hearts. Some would call that a heart-on. And I would say, yep. Anyway, doesn't seem like we get the same kind of community interplay without Sean Hanlon, which is a weird realization, how important he is to the melting down around us, which is what we examine. And I think we're about to get back to examining that as soon as I get my rewards. And then this could be a special announcement right here. And then after that, I'm going to start a second show during the week based on technologies and based on new friendships I've made on X. And they're real smart people. And we all know I'm not the smartest. So they're going to come on and they're going to try to teach me. Teaching DUSTiN, educating DUSTiN. I don't know. That sounds all of a sudden like a 70s porn, but this might turn into one. I don't know. I'd like to know. No, it won't. What I'd like to say next is something else other than that, because that was too much. All right, let's check on old Polly. Old Polly hugs and kisses, as some may know from Sean's wonderful dissertation on Polly hugs and kisses. Funny nickname. Anyway, he's not live yet. He may not be live during this whole time, and we'll just keep moving. So let's see what's trending. Let's see what's trending on X. Let's see what's first. Corey Feldman. What's going on with Corey Feldman? What'd he do? Is he melting down? Poor guy. Boy, for having such a great life, he's had it so rough. Am I right? Nailed it. Rice Baby in sports. All right. Somebody singing Rice Baby. Looks like a white guy. Should be singing nice. Doesn't matter to me. Boxing. Psychedelics Anonymous. Don't mind if I do. Shania Twain should always be trending, you know? She's just not impressed by much. You know what I mean? MAGA healthcare threat. Oh, God, don't get me started. Don't get me started on healthcare. Trump wants to kick 40 million people off of their healthcare. Well, that doesn't sound great. He's not even in charge. Is this something he just mentioned? Because he's got to be president before he does anything. 60% of Americans do not want... Okay, well, where's your article? I mean, I'm not standing up for the guy. I'm also not trying to spread false information. Seems like a lot of people choose sides. And if once you choose a side, we've already lost because there's only two sides. All I would like to say on this whole topic is when I had my head injury, the very final one in Vegas, I got taken to the hospital in an ambulance, and they did surgery. They did a bunch of things, and I said, "Oh boy, this sucks," because I was just walking a few minutes ago. I was just walking, and now I'm laying in the hospital. And then I got out of the hospital, and then I got a bill for, I don't know, $16,000 for just a few hours of going to the hospital. My old insurance that I was paying for and whatnot for however many years said, "Hey, bud, guess what? We talked to the hospital. Yes, we did. We did for you. For you. And we saved you $4,000. Surprise! You only have to pay $12,000 now. For what? For getting beat up? For getting assaulted? For getting trampled on in the streets? I mean, how do I know that the hospital isn't sending rogue people out like Joker characters to beat up on people just because they want to get that new Porsche, just because they want that new boat? How do I know? Maybe they just got a divorce, and the doctor's like, the ER doctor's like, you know what? I'm gonna call up old, I don't know, Joker, and send him out with his boys and beat some people up tonight. Get me some ambulance money. Woo! How do you know? Huh? There's a conspiracy theory for you. But what I do know is that it happened on Mother's Day, and it happened on the exact month that my Obamacare was released and available to me. I send my new $12,000 bill after being talked down to my new Obamacare, paid the whole thing, no questions asked, wished me well, said if there's any other surgeries or any other care that I needed, to please feel free to get that care. And I cried like a baby, because I went from being desolate and owing $12,000 for, again, just walking, just being assaulted. And they took care of that $12,000. And then I got another surgery that they took care of after that, including doctor visits and everything. Cut to just a few months later, got a new healthcare plan. And that healthcare plan did nothing. And I was like, what is this healthcare plan? Oh, it's through our business, our work, we got to do this. I'm like, I already have healthcare. And I didn't know it at the time because I had that brain injury and trauma happen, but I forgot that I had actually got mine through the musicians. What's it called? Musicians Union, BMI. So I was part of that union, and I got union healthcare. And after switching from my union healthcare to my business's healthcare, I all of a sudden was paying money. I all of a sudden lost all of my healthcare benefits, really. And then what happened next? Just like I read that is trending on X right now, there's one party that wants to take away healthcare. They kind of are not on the side of, I don't know, average Americans who are suffering. Ever since I lost my job, I I went on state health care. Then I went to go get an MRI. I show up at the MRI place. I'm sitting in the lobby and they go, hello, why are you here? What are you here for? And I go, MRI? I mean, we're at an MRI. It's an MRI place. And they're like, oh, yeah, we got a call from your insurance company saying that that you didn't need this. They decided that you didn't need this. I said, my doctor said I do need this. Well, we can only do what the insurance company says. I guess lucky at the time, my my current ex, had a relative that worked there. And that's the reason I was going to that one. And she got me in for a discount. I paid out of pocket. And all I've ever had from state healthcare is no, canceling my MRI, no to every medication my psychiatrist gave me prescriptions for, said no to everything. And I'm like, what are you for? You're not here to insure me. So what, we're having the state pay you to just say no? I thought the drug war was over. Huh? How about that from the 80s? Needless to say, the one party, I don't want to name names, but I guess it starts with an R. They have gone up against healthcare and tried to revoke our rights, our new rights, our rights to healthcare. And really, it's just cost saving at the end of the day. They want to revoke that 300 times. They took it to the floor of the Senate and the floor of the House of Republics 300 times. How dare anyone say that they don't want to get rid of it? How dare you? Not that anyone's saying that around me right now, but I have had conversations with people who go, oh no, they don't want to get rid of it. They just want to fix it. No, they don't. How come we ain't got it fixed yet then? If they wanted to fix something, it'd be fixed. I know when I try to fix things, I can just fix it. If I can't, I get someone else who can fix it. Everybody else is playing political games. That's all I got to say about that. Hi, I'm Forrest Gump. And that's all I got to say about that. Thank you. Well, I think that's all for the show today. I think I've melted down enough. And I don't want to bore anybody with any more war stories. Seems like we've lost all of our viewers on both streams, and that's fine. I know talking about politics and or healthcare could be a little much for people. Or Paulie is live doing his thing. And no, he's not. So that's no excuse, Twitter. Where'd you go? People get busy. People got to live their lives. And I'm for that. Hi, I'm Dustin. I stand behind people living their lives. Ding! Thank you. Well, that was a good PSA. Maybe I should throw up a space, see if anybody wants to come in that space, and give me a little chat. That'd be fun? Let's see if we can do that. Boop, boop. Let's see. Post. And then I would go, I don't think you can do it on the computer. I think you can only do it on the computer if you are using OBS. And I have OBS, and I also have some kind of Stream Deck. It's super nice. It's super impressive. I'm like, ooh, look at me. I'm really doing this damn thing. Until I realize I haven't got any of it actually working or connected or used. None of it's used. So that's my own fault. Why? Because I probably could do it at some point, but I just get so frustrated. And I know that's probably has something to do with my brain stuff, but you got to fight through that, bud. I'm giving myself a pep talk now. Hi, welcome to Dustin giving himself a pep talk. Listen, bud, you got to try harder. Do I? Yes. Why though? Cause why? Because guess what? What? You're worth it, bud. Who, me? Yes! All right, great. I pepped up now. Thank you for that. Okay, I could do it on here, possibly. It may not work out. Well, it's been fun, though. Oh, I should probably talk about this other thing that I'm involved in, because I talked about how I got real low with my monies and with rent. I was almost late on rent. and I got down to my last $300. I really did. I started up at like $5,000. I wish I would have mined that $5,000 because I think a lot of people got 10x or 100x. Could you imagine? I got 10x, I'd have been like $50,000. But I only did, I only did about, I don't know. I feel like 100 or so. I don't know. What's 0.2? I don't know anything. Ultimately, I did do. It went to 0.7 after I mined, so that's at least a 3x, 4x, and the price was really high. So I think that's when they add in the extra x's, and then a lot of people cash that out. Good for them. I just didn't understand. But that would have been nice. But ultimately, I then took the rest of my $4,000 and put it into the PONDCoin. Probably bought it at too high prices. Probably bought it at the top. Irregardlessly, I had about $5,000. Did 200,000 in volume. I'm a top 19 swapper, and that's gonna give me some bonus points. That's gonna give me some bonus multipliers, some diamond multipliers, and that I'm excited about. We're talking any minute, any moment, we could start getting the news or we could start getting the drops, and I could be $1,000 heir. You know what I mean? I could be a $10,000 heir. You don't know. I could be a millionaire, but I don't want to push it. But I could. The crazy thing is he keeps saying things like, you guys have no idea what's coming. You have no idea what you're about to get. You ungrateful sons of guns. And I'm like, I'm grateful. Even though I don't know, I'm super grateful. And I do. I have a grateful spirit, y'all. I shouldn't laugh at things like that because it looks like I don't, but I do. Either way, we got them coming, right? So I'm excited about that every minute of every day. There's also like bonus multipliers for engagement on X. Like they're taking all of our information, all of our stats, all of our engagements, and they're using all of that data, and then they're giving us bonuses for the data, like for like the way, I don't know, Facebook should have done, like all of them should have done, but they're giving us a bonus for it. And it's quite amazing when there are no venture capitalists. Some call that VCs. That's it. Oh my gosh, look who just showed up. Oh boy, and he is dressed to the nines. Woo! Somebody looking good. I'm going to take these headphones off.
Sean Hanlon!
There he is. I was just about to quit the show and you showed up. Woo!
No, I heard.
Oh, look at that.
In my ear as I was
breathe.
Approaching, you were like, well, I guess that's the end of the show. I don't want to bore anybody. And I'm like, I am almost there.
I've been racing. I made 3 people have an accident.
The traffic is out there is just brutal.
Woo! Fancy. Let's get you some water, bud.
Yeah. Yeah, give me some water.
So, how did your funeral go? Oh no, that's not a good question.
No,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
terrible
no, it's
question,
sad.
buddy.
I know, but how? It
was awful. It was awful.
Oh,
because he was a young guy.
Oh boy. The younger they are, the harder. No, the sadder it is.
The younger they are, the sadder it is. Yeah.
No.
If it's somebody who's like 90, it's like, well,
hey, you did it. You got there.
He had a hell of a life.
He had a hell of a run, this guy.
But when it's someone young, it's tragic.
Tragedy.
Tragic.
Tragedy. When you feel like you are doing good, but tragedy. It steps up, slaps you in the face, and then you know. I had to drop. That was real high.
Thanks,
for me.
Buddy. It got pretty high.
I was really at the top. I was like, I'm not going to make it.
There we go.
Ooh,
right?
Meltdown Island is back. We're back, bud.
Back.
Guess who's back? Meltdown Island's back.
You look very nice too, buddy. That's a nice sweater.
Oh, this old thing?
Yeah, that old thing.
Thank you. I can't wait until we upgrade to using OBS and Stream Deck.
Yeah, no, I heard you talking about that too, buddy.
Because we have an idea. Because I think you can use your phones as cameras and stuff like that on all Apple. So the idea is to have a split screen, right? And both of us wear, what is it called? Green? green screen shirts.
You're gonna spoil the surprise for everyone.
I am. I'm trying to make them go, I can't wait for this. And also to hold ourselves to the fire. We could be a little lackadaisical.
Yeah.
You know why? Because we're good buddies.
And we're both neurodivergent.
And we don't want to stress anybody out.
No, we don't want to stress anybody
Why?
out.
Because we're buddies.
Yeah.
Buddies aren't there to stress each other out. They're there to help each other move. Not that he helped me move lately. Sorry, I don't know why I'm taking a dig. It's because you're my buddy. Ooh, look, that muscle's tight as hell. Not tight as hell over here. Oof. Anyways. Anywho's, I talked all about my healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah, you listened to the whole show, huh?
Right. Uh-huh.
You didn't.
Not the whole show. No.
That was a test that you just failed, bud.
Actually, as I was driving, I was like, oh, I could be listening to this.
Oh my God. I did my whole special at the top about Sean and went through a whole thing of like you through the deck. Anyway, I didn't do that.
I was going to say, because I can go back and
I know. I realized as I was lying, I realized, oh no, he could actually catch me in this lie.
I'm actually, yeah. If I knew you were talking about me,
you would have been on it.
I would have gone back and listened for sure.
Isn't that nice of him? And he's sweet, you guys. He would have listened. He would have.
I jumped on eventually.
You did. I thank you for it. Let me get these lights up a little bit.
Never miss a comment. So you've gotten no comments?
None. I think people really only like to comment when you're around.
Huh, that's weird.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
It feels weird to me too. To be fair, I have been giving the people what they want. If what they want is PONDCoin and my health stories,
right? And
they haven't really had any complaints yet. I think that's the issue. I think that's the bonus.
So your rewards drop yet?
No.
Huh, that's weird.
But they should drop any. Okay, I've said this every week.
Yeah, every week. Every week.
To be fair, it feels real close every week. And to be fair, every week we do get closer.
Well, only in that time goes by.
Yes, that's what I'm saying too. We're saying the same thing.
Maybe. No. But maybe.
What?
Maybe they know. Maybe the reward's not coming.
Well, that's what all the people want to. That's what the haters want to say.
Yeah. Well, I'm a hater.
Are you?
Well, the haters gonna hate.
And the players, guess what? They're gonna play. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Yeah, what a culture shock from you.
Yeah, what a day.
You want to weep on my shoulder or anything? You got to let out emotions?
No, I'm all right.
He's not an emotional person, you guys. It doesn't show it, so.
Yeah, I bury it deep down.
Classic Sean.
Classic Sean.
Boy, look at us dancing, singing.
Yeah.
We're just doing some Taylor. If you ever look at us and go, what would be our female offshoots? His would be Taylor Swift, and mine be Billie Eilish. Both young, both females, not us.
No.
Just thought I'd let you guys know. A little inside of baseball. Might want to write that down.
Both of them rich.
Very rich. Us not so much.
Not so much.
Now, the haters might hate him, right?
Right.
But the people that swapped on Uniswap, that lost, remember that? Mm-hmm. They lost that money first day because they didn't listen to directions, or they were excited and wanted to either dump on him on his project by buying all the coins and then dumping them on the people who buy it next. Okay. Or when it gets up high, right? And take all his money.
Right.
But he did something different. They weren't used to it, right? But they hit that button, that 99.9. Your funds will be affected 99.9%. And I almost did hit that button. I looked at it and I'm like, that's what happened to me with old DUSTcoin. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Don't do it, bud.
DUSTcoin? There was a DUSTcoin?
Yeah. You don't remember this story, I guess?
Well, there are so many crypto stories.
So many.
That I have phased
some of
out.
Them. This is one you should hold on to.
My memory.
So one day I'm searching for my next loss. And I see DUSTcoin. I'm like, my name is DUSTiN.
Yeah.
I've been associated with DUSTiN, Dust, my whole life. This must be a sign from God. Needless to say, it wasn't. It was a trick by the devil. Yeah. And I took $420. I'm like, for the culture and my name. And it instantly turned into $20. I tried to get that $20 back. And they said, it'll cost you another $400. Like, oh, shit. So that sucked a lot.
Yeah.
I still got that $20 too.
It's still sitting out there?
Sitting out there somewhere. With that said, I lost that money, and what it said was, "Hey, you sure you want to hit this button? you're going to be affected about 90% of your money. And I was. But I was like, would God ever trick me, bud?
God, that's his thing, to trick people.
Come to find out, yep, I forgot. I forgot about Lot and his old Lot. You know what I mean?
And Abraham, remember Abraham?
Remember Abraham with the going to go cut off his son's pee-pee? And all of a sudden,
just kidding.
God showed up and goes, hey. It was the thought that counts. And what we in? We're right now in the season of the thought that counts.
Right.
Ooh, we got some laughs. Thank you right there, Ashkar. Ashkar is a good friend of mine. I'll be honest with you. I like this guy. He talks very low and very sensual. Not that he's trying to be sensual, just that he is.
I got you.
And I was like, you know what? I think I want to start producing a show with you, Ashkar at Night, where you just come on and be like, what's up, crypto people? Crypto lovers.
Like that Alan Allman, that Pillow Talk guy.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Something in the works up here. Ashkar at Night.
Hello, beautiful people.
It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
You're in the sexy mood all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm in as sexy of a mood as I can be.
They say after funerals, a lot of people do it. So I'm not saying that you're going to, but I'm saying I feel the vibe. God, sorry about that. God. With that said, Sean.
Yes.
How? Where were we at? Where was that? Oh, DUSTcoin.
DUSTcoin.
People hate them. Here's the thing. There has been a list of going to be bonuses, which for the rewards. Okay. One of those bonuses are people from Uniswap. There's a little, because Uniswap logo is a unicorn. There's a little unicorn that says Uniswap, and we think they'll either be made whole, or they'll get like a sizable bonus that will ease their loss. Because a lot of people lost. A lot of people hit that button because they're degenerates. They're people that go, I don't care, give me that. The first one wins the most money, all that stuff, right? And they're like, bip, 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 bip. Oh, it says 99 because there's so many people doing it once. That's why it's saying that. I'll be fine. They weren't.
There's no fine.
So they might be made whole, and it might be haters gonna hate, thrown in their face. And that is going to be a fun day. Because as I've discovered, the best way to troll people in life is with money.
I mean, really the best way to do anything in this capitalist society is to have money.
Talk about it, bud.
Talk about it.
Dun, dun. Talk about high.
No, yeah, I'm just saying in this economy, this society, this society smiles on those who have wealth and spits on those who don't.
As somebody who's been spat on his whole life, yeah, I can't agree more.
Spit out of my eye.
Reminds me of that song I did about golden showers being economics.
Yeah.
Rich people just dribbling, just, shaking off their last 3 drops, just trickling down on us. How dare you, rich people?
How dare they?
With that said, I have a rich friend whose name is Gloomy, and I'm playing this game, guy. So I was down to my last $300. That's where I was at early in the story. And now I'm back over where my mining was. I'm like at $2,000 now. Now, granted,
what?
Yeah, granted, the number, our number is going up. So of course the number goes up. Your personal number goes up. But more importantly, I've been given. Okay, so I bought 4 different people, including Tim Ross, another guy named Bill, a couple of Hawaiian friends. I got them a cake and a potion. It's an NFT. And I sent them out to them. Between me and these other 4 people, we have been paid about $1,200. He's been given $222 in ETH or in PONDCoin. I've gotten both. And I've only spent between $400 and $500. Like, I haven't spent like a great amount of money. But the amount we've gotten is over double what I've spent for sure. And the exciting part is it's just now getting, it's already been exciting for me, but it's just now, as Gloomy will say, it's just now about to get crazy. Like, we haven't even gotten crazy in his eyes yet. He's giving away, like, now, for instead of $222, $1,100, $700, $900. And I'm like, what is happening, dude?
What is happening?
It's exciting because at any given moment, I could win, $1,000 in PONDCoin and double my 1/3 of what I currently own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's huge. Ugh. 1/3? What? I really got sick there. Almost vomited. Needless to say, it is very exciting, and I'm pumped. So things are turning around. Now you can see why I'm a little more excited because I've gotten a little bit. I've got a few wins this week. Yeah, I'm one of the. How about this, Sean?
You got a few wins?
I've personally, twice when I bought things, I happened to buy them at the exact moment he was doing an instant prize. So I buy something, and then as soon as I buy it, I have $222 additional in my account. What? That's shocking. That's a fun little twist on the game because you think you're going to get what he calls spools, which is somehow you're printing. It's a printer code from your computer to the printer.
Yeah, no, I remember.
And I didn't know that.
Okay.
And basically you're printing money. He's spooling out print money. Thank you for giving me the nod. You're like, okay, I'm getting it. And it's very fun. And, it's fun to be able to play like gifts. You know what I mean? Like be funny with gifts, and we just get a whole bunch of like gifts going after each other, and that part's funny. So it's been enjoyable. It's been quite the experience for sure.
Well, that's great.
It really has.
So you're up then?
I'm up. I'm back up. Not only that, but I've helped other people get up.
Wow.
There's something about the gift of giving, right? That especially when you've been down and you've been in what do you call it? Survival. I know somebody got to get him some tum-tum food. When you've been in survival mode the way I have for the last decade, bud. Yeah. It's been a decade since Dustin's after show and the 30th anniversary or whatever. 25th anniversary. I don't know what things are. But
the 20th, you're talking about Plan Ann?
20th?
That was the 20th. That was the 20th.
Because the 30th just happened.
Yes.
10 years, bud.
10.
That was all back to back. Dustin's after show and the 20th and everything. I think that's why I got to be in the 20th anniversary because I was on fire that year.
Yeah, you were in fire.
And it was like, hey, you know what? Let's highlight. This year, though, cold as ice. No 30-year. No 30-year bump for me. No. That's fine. Because guess what? Year 40, I'm going to come in like gangbusters.
All right.
I'm going to come out with my balls hanging out, bro. High five for balls. Oh, God. Sorry about that, everyone. Apologize for the sex talk.
I mean, if we make it to 40
if we
years.
make it. We don't even. Some people say we won't even make it, right?
I mean, I was just reading something where we're going to hit another record this year. The globe is going to hit another emissions record this year.
All right, us. Huh?
So we're basically 3 years away from literally burning through our carbon budget.
So you're saying we got a chance?
I'm saying we have no chance.
I don't know. There's that little Jim Carrey inside of me that goes, so you're telling me there's a chance?
You want to, because right now, as we speak, the COP conference is going on, the Council of Parties. It's a UN conference, UN-sponsored conference.
This is exciting. I didn't know this.
Every year. So I think this is like COP 28. So they've been doing it for 28 years.
Oh, is this like that thing from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas when Johnny Depp shows up at that casino and there's a bunch of police officers there for a big police officer thing?
Yeah, no, it's not. COP is just
it's
an
acronym
for Council of Parties.
Thank you, COP.
And they've been doing this conference for close to 30 years. I don't even know if it's 28. It might be 29.
Either way, they were all about to fly there, right? Did you see that one with the plane had so much ice on it in Europe that it was like tilted backwards on its ass?
Oh my gosh.
And everybody's like, oh, hey, you're going to go to a global warming thing, but your plane got snow on it. Oh, global warming ain't real.
It's COP 28. It is. I was right. COP 28.
I thought you were right. That's why I stalled while you looked it up.
Thank you. It's the UN Council of Parties to deal with the climate crisis.
Show is so much easier with someone else talking.
It's going on. It's been going on for 28 years, and obviously they've done nothing. The Paris Climate Accord, of course, was
a farce.
No, came from the Council of Parties. And yeah, even when it happened, climate scientists were like, this is going to be woefully inadequate. But we haven't even been keeping to that. And so
we pulled out. We pulled out of the Paris Agreement.
So, but way back in the early 2000s, like 2008, maybe.
When Al Gore put out that
right around the same time.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Al Gore did the movie in 2006. That came out in 2000.
Oh, I like that.
Truth came out 2006.
And in that, they said in 2023 it could be over by then. And I think that's another slam dunk that deniers want to slam dunk right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give it up for they've been waiting for however long, for 16, 17 years to be able to go, oh, we're still alive, you scardos.
So, but it's being hosted by Dubai, by the way. It's being hosted by the United Arab Emirates.
That's nice.
In Dubai. Well, of course, the United Arab Emirates, like a lot of those countries there, they've made their fortune in oil. And in fact, there's some criticism of the president of UAE that he's used this as an opportunity to negotiate negotiate oil deals with all of the big countries.
Instead of really talk about any kind of climate fixing. And
so anyway,
that is suave.
About the mid 2000s.
Go ahead.
All the scientists, they came together and they were like, and that's when it was determined that we cannot exceed 2 degrees.
It's only
of warming, 2 degrees Celsius. Yeah, the song. It's only
2
degrees.
Only 4 degrees.
So it was James Cameron. James Cameron? No,
I don't know.
James Cameron is the director. James Hansen.
Oh, names.
Is the scientist, the climate scientist.
Go on.
He was the one that started the ball rolling, really, by testifying to Congress in the late 80s, saying, "Hey, this is a problem. It's starting to be a problem, but if we deal with it now, we'll be fine." Well, we didn't.
We didn't deal with it, though, did we?
We didn't deal with it.
Kick that can. We're can kickers.
Yeah, and then what? Maybe 5 to 7 years after that, they started doing these council of parties conferences, these climate conferences.
What if we have a party? What if we have parties? You think people would then go, "Hey, they're taking care of it," but we'll really just have a party. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's what they're suggesting, that it's really, is it a climate conference, or is it is it Burning Man? Because we're now beyond global warming. We're going into global boiling, what they're calling it now.
Oh no! Come on, you've heard that phrase?
I've heard that phrase.
Oh, no.
That phrase is come into vogue this year.
Oh, no.
Global boiling,
oh,
because
boy.
this is going to be the hottest. This year is going to be the hottest year in record. It's going to be,
and it's more
feel
extreme.
like it.
It's more extreme, right? Because that's the thing is, I think the people lose the sight on. They think warming, right? Because we say warming, but it's really climate changing to the extreme,
which
right?
is why they stopped calling it global warming
right.
and called it climate change.
But they want to slam dunk on that too.
They do, because they're like, "Oh, I guess you changed the name because it's not really warming."
Oh, we win again.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, but in so about 20 years after he addressed Congress, said this is going to be a problem. That's when he got a bunch of his scientist buddies together and was like, "Let's find out how much. Let's try and determine how much CO2 we can pump into the atmosphere and still have a reasonable chance."
Well, that's the problem. What'd they pump all that CO2 in the air for?
They didn't do it on purpose.
Oh, they did it.
Well, they did do it on purpose.
They did it with their math minds?
Yeah.
Oh, not in reality.
No, they did models.
What if we did 1,200 tons? Let's go, boys.
And so they tried to determine how much CO2 we could emit into the atmosphere and still have a reasonable chance of keeping warming below 2 degrees, which is what, like I said, is what was determined, that once we get to 2 degrees, that's it. Because
we've already seen flooding in New York City, like horrible flooding.
I mean, we don't even hear about the stuff that's going on in Asia, or Europe. Some of
I try not to.
Yeah, well, you and most of America.
I know, right? It's too stressful.
So, but So they
What
put
did they
their
do?
minds together and determined how much CO2 we could pump into the atmosphere, and it basically worked out to about a little over 500 gigatons. That's 500 billion tons of CO2 that we could.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
that
Because
we
that's
could
like
put-
1,000 millions to get to a billion.
Yeah, and this is also of a gas, right? How heavy is a gas, right? So you're talking about 500 billion tons
In weight?
of a gas.
In weight.
Yes.
Oh, not like in bottles.
Oh, not in bottles. Just the
I was just trying to
gas
think, how do
itself.
they weigh it? How do you even weigh?
Well, it's
a
got to
gas?
weight.
No,
Everything's
that's a
got
good
to
point.
weight.
You're right. Even if it's pennies,
You ever-
it's still
Yeah.
yeah.
You ever
okay.
look at the periodic table of elements?
When I was in high school, I sure did.
Yeah, and there's a weight. There's all of the elements have
Is
an
that what that
atomic
is?
weight associated with them.
Okay.
So
Is that what that is?
like a gallon of gas is 6 pounds ish.
Sounds hot.
And if you were to burn that 1 gallon of gas,
Okay. It
it
turns
basically works out to 18 pounds of CO2 that goes in
how
the
many
air.
pounds was the gas to start with? Because you said
6
gallons.
pounds.
You said gallons.
I said a gallon of gas is about 6 pounds.
You know what? I didn't hear that part because I was stuck on the first part. Keep going.
Yes. So a gallon of gas has about 6 pounds.
So 6 pounds turns into.
And you burn that gallon of gas,
Uh-huh.
and not only does the gas is basically carbon. You're burning carbon,
Mm-hmm.
so that, but you can't destroy an element. You can only transform it, right?
Much like myself.
Right. Anyways, so you can't destroy the element. You just transform it. So you take the carbon from a liquid form into a gas form, but it's still got the same weight, roughly. But then it also merges with 2 oxygen atoms.
It does?
So in the burning process,
CO2.
yes,
I see.
in the burning process, the carbon merges with
The CO2
two atoms of oxygen.
Get over here, oxygens.
So basically triples its weight.
It's like
so
a pimp.
So it's like
Carbon's like a pimp.
so 1 pound. So 1 gallon of gas
Hey, baby, come with me.
is about 18 pounds of gas.
Uh-huh. That's wild.
Yeah. So
Thank you for explaining how it adds up, because I would have been like, he's a liar. I don't know how that, but you're right. It makes sense.
anyway,
No, it makes sense. I'm thanking you.
so they basically said, so they put their minds together and determined that we could burn 500 gigatons. We could emit 500 gigatons
Nice
of gas into the atmosphere and still have a reasonable chance of staying under 2 degrees. Well, the Paris Climate Accord, as you may or may not know,
I don't, but please remind
they
us.
basically they said, well, if we can't go over 2 degrees, let's shoot for keeping it below 1.5 degrees.
Okay, that's a good idea. That seems like
Which
it's very.
We've actually
It's almost like a compromise.
we actually already breached 1.5 degrees at a daily or a monthly level. We've already, so there was a day last month, and I think I mentioned it,
I think you did. I was like,
where
why
we
mention
hit
this?
1.5 degrees of warming. We were 1.5 degrees above the pre-industrial.
Is that why my
average.
deodorant wasn't working that day?
Dustin,
I'm just wondering
you make it so difficult.
which part.
sometimes.
Which part do I make difficult?
You make it. All
You're
of it.
doing
just
great.
trying to talk about it makes it very difficult.
I'm enjoying the talk, though. Can I say that?
So anyway, 500 gigatons of greenhouse gas that we can afford to pump into the atmosphere. And we have been chipping away ever since then. We've
Classic
been chipping
us.
away at it, averaging maybe 38 gigatons every year since then.
And they've opened those carbon capture places too.
Right.
So they are trying to soak up some.
Actually, so
You gonna look some up?
well, I've got it right here actually because
He's coming with notes and facts this time.
I've even been keeping track.
It's the only
of
way
it
to battle
myself. So this
ignorance.
is our,
I'm a good representation of ignorance.
so this is our carbon budget.
Oh, he's got it all out in a flywheel.
Right. You can't see really. Let me,
Can't really. You want to just read it to us a little bit?
I'm just going to say, so since 2013, see that 35, 36, 36, 36, 37, 40. And then we drop back down because of the pandemic. So back down to 37, 36, and then back up, 40, and then 40.
We should do more pandemics then.
Giving us a grand total of 409 gigatons.
And how many did you say? 500 something?
529.
All right.
Gigatons. And we have, since we decided we can't put more than 529 into the atmosphere and think that we can stay under 2 degrees of warming, we have put 409 gigatons into the atmosphere, leaving us a grand total of 156 gigatons left in our budget.
That's wild, sounding.
Well, at 40, if we were to continue at 40 gigatons a year, as we have been.
Let me see. Let me try to do the math. So you got all of 500.
3.5 years.
Okay.
I mean, that's no joke. 3.5 years.
And what year is it right now?
2023.
And how many is 3 to get? So that's only 2026.
Yes.
Because I've got some money that's stashed in a coin until 2029. I might take that out.
In the middle of 2026, at this current rate, we will breach the carbon budget, at which time it is largely impossible for us to stay under 2 degrees.
Question?
Yes.
Does the natural process of the Earth take that C and
O2.
2 O's? Does it take that and combine it with anything else and make something special other than just bad stuff?
God damn you, Dustin.
I'm asking.
No, I'm saying, God damn you. That's a great fucking question.
Thank you. Because I was surprised when you talked about the chemical reaction. I was like, oh yeah, science stuff. And then I was like, I wonder if other science stuff does it.
If it eventually breaks down, right? Like CO2 is breathed in by plants.
Okay,
for example.
That's a good example. That's
right?
a great. I knew that one. I couldn't remember, but it's a good one.
But hanging in the atmosphere, CO2 will last hundreds of years.
Now here's I know it sounds crazy, but have we talked about putting another hole in the ozone to allow some to seep out? Yes, you have
talked about this. And
let it seep out.
It's crazy. That's a ridiculous idea.
But we in ridiculous times, bud. And we in scientist times. Like we already made the hole once. Made it seal up. Now, if I'm going into any kind of television or any kind of storytelling, after you learn how to do something, you can repeat that process. Let's go to the hottest zone right over the equator, make us a little bit of big hole, let all that CO2 that's trapped at the top escape. It's a vacuum. Space is a vacuum. Let's vacuum out some of that CO2.
That's a disaster, buddy. Well, that's what they're trying to do now. They're trying to vacuum out the CO2. You've heard about these carbon capture plants,
yes. That's what I was going to say.
Carbon capture is... here's the telltale sign that carbon capture is a scam.
Okay.
Because the primary investors in it are the oil companies. It is a literal smoke screen.
Okay.
Sounds
like a smoke show.
It's a smoke screen to make people think that we're making progress.
I feel like we are too now that you said that way.
So nobody's going to kick up a fuss about us continuing to burn oil.
You're saying we should kick up a fuss
because, and I think, and actually, we have talked about this before. There's a big plant that they're
on Antarctica.
No, there's a big plant. And I think it's going to be in Louisiana.
To be fair, there is one in Antarctica
that the federal government is investing $700 million in as part of the
clean up the air,
as part of Biden's Build Back Better infrastructure plan. So the federal government's investing $700 million.
That's a lot of dollars.
Yeah, because these plants cost a lot of money. This one in Louisiana, and the other big investor is, surprise, surprise, an oil company.
They're trying to offset. They're trying to carbon buy their offset.
They're trying to, again, they're trying to show, we care.
We do care, though. We live here too, you
So
guys.
this massive plant that they're building, that's going to have a price tag of about $1.5 billion. It is going to take out 1 million tons of CO2 every year.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's sick because we are, as I just pointed out,
billions.
We are putting in 40 billion tons. 40 billion
It takes
tons every year.
Takes
And
1,000 of the things. To
So
make
yeah,
a
we
billion.
did the math on I think last week or the week before. We would need 40,000 of them just to take out what
How many
we
countries
put
are
in
there?
every year.
What if every country did one? How many? There's like 200
it's
countries.
yeah, about 200 countries, I'd say.
We'd have to do 7,000 piece.
Exactly.
I mean, U.S. would probably have to take on probably 10,000, 12,000 because we probably the biggest. But so would the Middle East because that's where all oil comes from. And they've been selling it.
So I mean, and we still get 20% of our power from coal, which is the dirtiest of all of them. And that's just United States. 20% of our power is still coal.
I'd like to point out that my boy is fired up. Now, maybe it's because he just came to a funeral and he's thinking maybe the death of all of us. But my boy's fired up and I'm listening, you guys.
So we're about to run out of our carbon budget and we're doing nothing. People are like, oh, but I drive through I drive through the country and I see all of these big windmills and I see these big solar farms.
I have seen those out in Vegas. I have seen those. Those are crazy big.
Yeah, we're doing all kinds of crazy clean energy stuff.
But even to make the clean energy, it takes us getting dirty to make it. That's the crazy thing.
Well, the crazy thing is that it's not making.
That's the thing that scared me when I saw that documentary from what's his name from Michigan. The guy, the documentary guy.
Oh, yeah.
He did one about the fact that.
What the hell's his name? Roger. He did Roger and Me.
Roger. Nope.
No.
Sorry, I think
what is that guy's name?
Right? It seems like we should know it.
No, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Anyway.
Joan Baez. Nope. It's not Joan Baez. Anyway, in that movie, he says how they're cutting down all the forests up in Canada and they're cutting down all the forests in the rainforest and they're taking all that wood to make fire.
Michael
Moore. And then they're taking all the coal. It takes coal and oil to make the solar panels. So, that's great if we need to continue to produce the dirty to get to the clean. But guess what? Once we get clean, it'll be cleaner. And It won't be as hard to get that and to stay cleaner. We're just in a transitional phase.
Well, the point I was going to make is that every year there's growth in the country, right? I mean, in the world. We're over 8 billion people now. We're and probably in 15 years, we'll probably be at 9 billion.
And it's like I've said, what's going to happen is all these deserts we got, they're starting to get flooded out, much like Burning Man. We got flooded out this year with rain in the desert, guy.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm just saying that things are changing. Life's changing.
I got to say, let me just say my point.
Please do.
Hey, who's stopping you?
God, I'm enjoying the conversation. The Kid and Play. Remember that group? Come on with it. Please finish your point. I did not mean to.
So we're constantly growing, right? We're constantly growth. Our entire economic system is based on perpetual growth.
That's why Elon Musk is always like, we need to have more babies.
Yeah.
And he's like out there trying to do it.
He is trying. Oh my gosh. So
you like to do
all of these solar panels, all of these solar farms and wind farms, they are doing a good job as far as offsetting growth, but they are not making a dent in the core amount of fossil fuel.
When they get the technology down or a little more or mass manufactured, do you think much like the war when we create all them tanks, we didn't have many tanks before, all of a sudden we could have a bunch of these plants though? I mean, honestly, I'm just asking. We got 3 years.
3 years.
I hear it now.
This first one isn't even going to be online for 3 years.
There is one in Antarctica.
There are a handful of them, but in total, they're not taking out much.
And they're making rock out of it. That's the crazy thing.
That's the thing. It is all an illusion to make you think that they're doing something to solve the problem, but they are not. It's offsetting the growth, but that core energy need still keeps growing.
The thing is they're taking it into the thing and then they're shoving all the CO2 down into a open cavern where then it comes back out as sludge. That's the crazy thing. A chemical reaction. And they're making a chemical reaction where all this gas from a volcano is trapped. So they send it down into this thing, and then it comes back out as this new sludgy rock stuff.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, isn't that wild though?
If we would have started doing this
a decade ago,
if we would have
right?
started doing it, a decade ago,
Yeah.
ideally 25 years ago.
It's crazy they didn't think of that sooner.
They did think of it, but nobody gave a damn.
Not even Al Gore.
Nobody gave a damn. Al Gore did. Yeah, sure. He's one person.
That's true. That's true.
And at the time he started really complaining about it, he wasn't in government anymore.
That's true.
If he would have been president,
he could have made some.
If he would have become president when he won.
When he won.
When
he won and they took it away from him from Florida because of hanging chads.
And the recount in Florida after the Supreme Court said, look, we're going to stop the count. George W. Bush is our president. When they went back and did the count, he won Florida.
It's crazy, isn't it?
The Supreme Court stole that election. You know, all this Donald Trump stuff talking about.
That's why he did. That's why Donald Trump snuck in Amy Coney Barrett in the middle of the night.
Court
in the middle of the night.
Stole that election.
In the middle of the night. From Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Her one request was, let it be somebody who's a liberal like me. That's my one request. Then you should have retired when there was
yeah.
If you wanted to see it happen, that's what you should have done.
You should have retired when
our first comment, you guys are making me melt down.
Oh, yes.
Welcome to Meltdown Island, Derek. Look at that.
Welcome, Derek.
We drove my brother a little crazy today.
Good.
Nice.
Good. Then we did our job.
I appreciate it.
So,
nope, he's not live yet. Still waiting.
Did I say anything? Did I finish everything I was trying to say?
Oh.
Fundamentals.
Here we go. 8 p.m. tonight. 8 p.m. December 5th. I said, remember when I said you didn't, but he said it was going to be at 5:13 is going to be the drop. So at 5:13, I was watching the clock and nothing happened. And now it's set for 8 p.m. West Coast time, which is where he's from. All of a sudden, 5:13, looking real pretty for the, here we go. Here we go. Oh my God, here we go. Oh my God, here we go, bro.
I hope so, buddy. I hope Paulie's not just yanking your chain.
Here we go, bro.
As he's been all along.
No, he's not been long.
We'll see. We'll see.
He's not been knocking it all along.
We'll see. I hope it is, buddy. I hope it is.
It's very exciting for me. And anyone else in PONDCoin. That's a very exciting. He never does this. Can I say that? He never says, I'm going. Yesterday he went live for about 10 minutes. He jumped on. He played frog noises for a good 5 minutes. Played a couple songs. Said, all right, this was just a test. We have about 800 to 1,000 people have been popping in and out. He just wanted to show one of the main live streamers on there that he's not the man, like he's been saying. Look, we just did this for 10 minutes, didn't even announce it, and we've got 10 times what you got. With that said, Sean, it's very exciting to see that he's got something posted for us. What's happening? Ashkar? Look, I got real news for him. Can you see this? No, that's two phones. Okay. Paulie actually set a time for his space at 8 p.m. So 8 p.m., I think, on West Coast time. What are you talking about? We're currently talking about Paulie's. I dropped it again. Oh, there's a delay too, because I just said it. So it's probably, he got a space and he said it's going to be at 8 p.m. Fundamentals. And as Ashkar will confirm, he don't do this, bud. This is it. Can I tell you this?
We'll see, buddy.
They said by the end of this month, our coin that is currently ranked at 150,114 or 7, that by the end of this year, it will be 222x at a minimum, $8 billion market cap. Currently, it's like a $40 million market cap. So how many millions does it take to get to a billion? 1,000x. So we're going to have 8,000 million dollar market cap is going to be added at a minimum. I don't know if my math's right, but you get it. Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go, Ashkar! He's not even, he don't care. Look, we all just paid attention to your scary ass end of the world thing. Can we have excitement for maybe living till the end of the world? Some of us, we're not going to make it.
So the funny thing about you getting a drop tonight,
I just
how's
told
the
him.
pond doing?
I
Yep.
just told him.
The
Very good.
the funny thing is that at this COP conference in
Get ready.
Dubai,
Yep. Not real cops.
this this UN climate conference in
Just wanted to
Dubai,
clarify.
there are 97,000 credentialed attendees. So those 97,000 people, they're not all from Dubai. They're from all over the world. And all of them took planes, many of them private planes, from wherever they are on the globe to Dubai, burning lots of fossil fuels, throwing lots of CO2 into the atmosphere just so they can get to the conference.
Yep. And in fact, that's what I was trying to. There's a picture I'm looking for right now, that's been on Twitter. It was trending the day of the thing, that Europe got so much snow that one of the private jets that's sitting on in there, probably Norway or something, and the whole jet's like this, gong, and it's sitting on its butt because the snow's so heavy and the bag's got more weight in it. Oh, ha ha ha! Their private plane got hurt. That's not even what they're saying. They're just like, oh, real global warming. Oh. It's like you could be funny. You could be funnier, but okay,
But
go with that. But yeah, it is a famous picture now, of I guess the deniers or just people that are like wanted to slam dunk on people, which is a valid excuse for anything.
In other news,
You got news?
my fantasy team
That's what I wanted to ask you. Thank you for bringing this up.
suffered.
Fantasy football cosplaying 2023 football league. Sean Hanlon, football fantasy.
I suffered another disappointing loss this week.
What?
There's one more week in the regular season, and I must win this week,
buddy.
into
Buddy. Hey, buddy, what's going on, buddy? What we doing? Did you play the wrong players?
I played the best players that I've got.
Did those players perform the best that day, or
No.
you were? Oh boy.
Several of them did.
On your own team, though,
Several
you
of
had
them
other
did very
teams,
well.
Players that you didn't play that could have gotten.
No, there was none. There was no one on my team that played better than people that I.
Oh,
I
that's
started.
good. That's good.
It's not good.
Oh,
Because it wasn't good enough to beat my opponent.
Ooh.
I've got one more.
Who did you play this week?
Match. I don't know, some guy.
You're not even going to give him a shout out and or acknowledgement. He's nothing to you.
I mean, literally, I don't. Of the several friends.
Get
that
it
I
out.
have,
Get it out, bud. Get it out.
The several friends I have in this league. There are also several people that I do not know at all. And this is
Doesn't
one
want
of these
to and
guys.
doesn't want to.
This is one of the guys that I do not know.
Well, it's
So,
fun. If I think a fun fact, something I'm experiencing on social media, I guess the human brain really only remembers about 150 people at a time. And
That checks out.
and I've met new people on X that are like Ashkar, my new friend, and others, and I forget about my brother. No, that's a joke. But there are people that I'm like, oh man, this is what this means, huh? Because I've definitely taken in a bunch of new people and names and places, and I sure have forgotten other things.
I mean, another example of that is anytime you scroll through your friends list on Facebook,
Yes.
where so many names are like, who the fuck is this guy?
Don't know.
who is this guy?
It's like one giant networking thing that you don't actually network on.
Right. I mean, sometimes there's students that I only knew for a few weeks,
And or didn't even show up the whole time.
sometimes they're people that maybe I worked with on a ship or that I worked with in the past, and
You need to get on
I
camera.
have
Your
no
half
idea.
face is not. It's not
no,
it.
the half face is sexy, I think.
Well, that's what happens when I go to. I gotta go. When I edit it, then you get the half face. That's why it looks so good, because I edited it to look good. But when you're a half face off, guess what? Then I've only got a quarter face to make look good, and that gets rough.
So next week at this time, we'll know.
Mhm.
But it's
Not good.
it's gonna be tough.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be tough.
Who you got to play next week?
What's that?
Who you play next week?
Again, another guy that I do not know.
You think maybe you should find out who he is? Maybe sabotage his team?
I don't know if it works that way.
Okay. Just
Anywho's
ideas.
all.
I'm just throwing out ideas.
Anyway.
Anywho's. Welp.
Roses and thorns, roses and thorns.
He likes to
Motherfucking
sing.
Roses and thorns, roses and thorns.
Every week he sings.
Roses and thorns, roses and thorns.
Why? Roses and thorns.
Roses and thorns. Roses and thorns. Roses and thorns. Roses and thorns. Roses.
That was fantastic.
A rose to you for holding down the fort while I was scurrying from my funeral.
And if every rose has its thorn, thorn to you for being late.
Thorn to this person for dying.
Agreed.
Yes.
Rose.
A rose to me.
them living. A rose to them living.
A rose to me for going and helping to console those who are largely inconsolable.
Did you console?
I mean, I kept them company.
What'd you do?
For a couple hours.
You talked to people?
Talked to people.
Made some people laugh?
Made a few people laugh.
That's important. That's important. You did your work. You did your jab.
So I was actually expecting a rose from you for.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
Instead of missing it altogether.
That was my next rose, bud.
Staying longer to help those people.
That was my next rose to you. You just didn't. You got too defensive.
All right, let's hear it.
I like to say a rose to Sean for fighting traffic.
Yeah, because it's out in Macomb.
What? Nobody even knows where that is.
Yeah,
we're in Detroit.
So
you're talking about a whole different county.
It's about 20 Macomb Township.
Township? That's not even a county.
No, within Macomb County.
Oh.
So it's up at 21 Mile Road, basically.
And we at 0 miles.
And we're at 0 miles.
So it's only 20 miles. It's only 20 minutes. Nope.
No, it's not.
Because it goes sideways, which doubles the.
Yeah.
It's like spokes in a wheel.
I had to go way east and then go west and then north again.
Yep.
And then it took me on that Hall Road.
For those of you who know 8 Mile, the movie, it's because Detroit 0 mile, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 miles away is the border of Detroit.
Right.
So you had to go another almost 15, 10, 13 miles out of the
13
city.
miles, 13 miles, yeah. So
pretty good, man. Pretty good.
But that's one of those areas that grew super fast.
Mm.
And the infrastructure
ain't there.
Was super slow in catching up, and some would say it still hasn't really caught up.
Because it's just 2 lanes. It's not even an interstate forever.
Well, I mean, Hall Road, which when I first started going out there,
I
mean, as recently as 10 years ago, probably 15.
Is that recent?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in the grand scheme of infrastructure
and your life,
it was still a 2-lane road for a lot of it.
Yep.
But now it's like 8. It's like an 8-lane boulevard.
I like them 8-laners. To be fair, though, Detroit has 8-laners just on side streets.
Yeah,
that's how many cars are in the city. 8-laners just by this factory over here.
Yeah,
4 on one side, 4 on the other side for just people leaving the factory.
Yeah,
it's that crazy, and I love it. I like a lot of road.
Thorn to you, because.
Thorn to Texas.
It's all these roads that are problematic.
Texas has mile-long exits, bud. Like a mile long to get off of an interstate.
One of the bigger contributors to fossil fuel to greenhouse gas emissions.
Sure.
Is the cement industry.
Well, cement is a sludgy side product of oil refinement, so they are maximizing. Yeah, I know this because I'm watching a science show.
All right.
And gravel and the tar that makes up gravel looks like it's all oil, but it's not. It's the percentage of sludgy, bad oil, and they reuse it for the concrete. So it's from the refinement industry and ultimately the oil industry, which goes in the car, that then supplements goes to the. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying they tried. Someone at one point tried to be as conservative with all of the material as possible.
Anyway, a thorn to humanity for not acting sooner in the climate crisis.
Rose to our commenters, Derek and Ashkar.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Also, and we didn't even get into this, Ford, General Motors, both put pauses on their pauses. They both hit pause. Let's go with that.
Pauses.
They both hit pause on their EV manufacturing. Their EV programs.
Go ahead.
Because nobody is buying them.
They all buying the Teslas?
You know why? Well, even Teslas, they can only do so many. But
you think it's because we're all broke as humans?
Yeah, it is partially that they're super expensive, but also the infrastructure is not there to support them.
It is in some places, like New York, California, I think.
No, here's the thing. In California, when I was in Los Angeles,
Go ahead.
I'd get an Uber, and every once in a while, one pulls up in an electric car.
Hey.
And you say to him, let me ask you this. Is it easy for you to find a charge while you're out and about? And he's like, it is almost impossible.
Oh boy, impossible.
And that's in fucking Los Angeles, California.
Impossible?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Does he drive by Tesla place at all? Where they make it?
Well, here's the thing too. Different car companies, they're charging.
Oh, that's stupid.
Their charging is not uniform.
That's stupid. That's stupid.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
That's ignorant.
That's what we're dealing with, man.
That's ignorant. Proprietary charging stations when we're so used to just pulling up at a gas station and filling her up. I think my brother got a Tesla. Hey, Derek. Hey, Derek, how's it good for you? Is it good for you to get charged? Some people just charge at home. That's the other thing, right?
Yeah.
They give you a charge thing, charge at home.
But, you
don't go anywhere and you'll be fine.
And they just, actually, in Detroit, and there's a few places around the world where they've done this, but the first one in the United States is here in Detroit. It's a road that charges your electric vehicle while you're driving over it.
What are you talking about?
So, you know how, like with your cell phone, you can set it on top of something. You don't have to plug it in. You set it on top of it, and
I've seen it, but
it's charged.
Not me. I don't do that.
Well,
that
it does. It happens. It exists.
You do that?
Yeah, you can do it. There's a platform you can put it on. In fact, with the Apples, they've got like that little magnet device where it just connects to it.
I don't understand any of that.
It's not plugged in, so it uses that same technology where it charges without being plugged in. But it's like, I think the road here. This road, by the way,
on the road.
Should be everywhere in metropolitan areas.
Yeah.
In the United States, in all of the United States, there's about 1 mile of road
that ain't it
that charges while you drive.
And people could just pull up to the road and sit on the road and let the charge while he's sitting there and then drive on.
Or just while you're driving over it. If it was long enough, you would drive while you're driving, it's charging.
I might even give me one of these cars. It sounds pretty nice. Nope.
Nobody is buying electric vehicles.
Well, give me my rewards and I will be.
Dealerships cannot get them off of the lot.
Really? You think I could go and swindle something? Like, hello there.
Anyways.
All right. Well, Thorn to you for not playing along with that bit.
Thorn to the sagging EV sales.
Yeah, Thorn to SAGs. Except for not the SAGs, not the guild, not the guild, but
trying
SAG.
To get yourself canceled.
Sagging.
All right.
I like SAG.
Yeah.
I'd like to say this.
Except when you're talking about EV sales.
Except for EV sales. I'd like to give a rose to PONDCoin for changing my life. Here we go.
I would like to give a thorn to PONDCoin for fucking with you for so long.
Well, you got to fuck with something. Might as well be with me and nobody else gets hurt.
Well, hopefully 8 o'clock.
How humble is that for me?
Hopefully 8 o'clock.
I'm humble.
5 p.m. Eastern, it will all change.
Let me show you this.
Are you going to cash out at that point, buddy?
No.
Oh, all right. Well, then,
because all the numbers are going to keep going up. There is a little bit.
Then they've got you.
Oof. My ear just got clogged. I got to crack it out. So look at this. This is our new setup. Boop, boop. Look at this. Ooh, fancy. Look at that. It's all dark and sweet looking. And then watch.
Fancy gamification.
You could change the color of it to light purple.
So people don't even realize that they've lost so much money.
Up here's a little wallet. Up here's our little wallet. Look at that. We think that that's going to have a bigger number than 0 in it by the end of the day, you guys.
Hard to imagine.
No, go like this.
Imagine all the
By the
dollars.
way, speaking of tongue sticking out of mouths, Ron DeSantis, did you see him this last week on with Gavin Newsom doing a thing?
Yeah, the debate.
And then he was like, they have a camera on him the whole time, right? Of course, because it's natural, because you're filming 2 guys. But the other guy, Gavin Newsom's tearing him down. Like you suck. You're not even doing good in your own state. you're trolling everybody by getting immigrants from one state, trying to take them to another state. You're just being an ass. He's like, it's just like, guy, dude, that is not how you do that. He's not good. He's never looked in the mirror. He doesn't look at the mirror that much, I don't think.
No.
Because if he did, he'd terrify himself. Anyway.
All I have to say to that is we just got to stop the insanity.
Yeah, because we got to get money out of politics. That's the only way we win.
That's the only way we win. Because at the end of the day, corporations are not people.
No, they're not. They are not people. Oh, look what my brother said. He charges at home.
I charge at home, sure.
And that's all you need. It's great.
Yeah.
You just got to plan out. If you're going on a trip, you got to say, where's the place between here and 50 miles?
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
I mean, yeah, it's a possibility.
But not right now?
Not right now.
Oh, well, that's wild. We have to, got to do something about that Supreme Court because they are nuts.
Anyway, 3 years till we exceed our carbon budget, and it's all moot anyway.
Well, let's keep hope alive.
Hopium.
Much like in Great Britain back in the 1700s when they only had horses, and one guy was like, "We gonna be riding horses through a mile's worth of horse shit here within 5 years, with so many people will need horses." And the car came along, and then it solved it. So we're looking for somebody to create a new
horseshit cleaning device.
A new horseshit device. A new anti-horseshit device.
All right.
Something to change the game. It's the only thing. It's the only way it's gonna work. Somebody got to change the game.
We got to get money out of politics, and we got to get government out of our.
You think if I get rich, I could probably run for president? Then we can go for USA 2. Everybody voting on the blockchain, all that stuff.
They would kill you.
I mean, don't make it sound nice, bud. Dun 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 dun. Dead. Let's get big government out of our collective vaginas, as as human beings. And what else? Is that it?
That's it. I got to go teach a class now.
All right. I want Sean to get rich.
I want Dustin to get rich on YouTube.
Post time. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.
Nice work, everybody.